don't chase money. Chase doing good for people. Ultimately, money will find you. Be good. Right? And if you do these things and you basically stay away from negative people, for that matter, and focus on the positivity of life, align back for doing good for people, that's the comeback.
I'm Carol Ofori, and this is The Comeback, a podcast about resilience, healing, and the strength it takes to keep moving forward. Losing your job is devastating. Losing everything at once, your income, your security, and even your health can feel impossible to recover from. In 2019, Vinay Hansraj was retrenched and left completely broke. He started his own company, fighting to get clients and keep himself afloat. Then, just as he was rebuilding, life hit him again. A major heart attack and a quadruple bypass, leaving him in ICU for 8 days. Despite the setbacks, Vinay pushed forward. Today, his business is thriving and he has rebuilt his life from the ground up. This is The Comeback with me, Carol Ofori, and this is Vinay Hansraj's story.
I'm just thinking, now that you mentioned something, I'm just thinking it makes Rambo put Rocky Balboa to shame. The Comeback. The Comeback. It's a big title there. Yeah.
It is a big title, but let's start at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And when I say the beginning, we always like to find out, what someone's childhood was to where they get to today in life.
Okay.
What was it like? Where did you grow up?
I'm actually a Pietermaritzburg boy.
Okay.
All right, so I grew up in a little suburb township called Northdale in Pietermaritzburg.
Okay.
And then I matriculated in Heather Secondary School. Average kid, not the brightest in the block. Athletic by nature as well. So 400 meters, 800 meters, 1,500 meters. Pietermaritzburg was home. And as I grew in the corporate space, I had to move from Maritzburg because I found myself in a space as to where I was managing staff, the bulk that sat in Durban, and I just commuted every day by car back and forth, Maritzburg to Durban, and it becomes a nightmare. And you get to know every single pothole on the highway. And I said,
Yes.
enough, and that's when I ultimately moved out of Maritzburg into Durbs.
Right. And into Durbs you go, you're still working at the bank.
Yeah.
And things changed as 2010 hit. 2020 hit.
Yeah.
With COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. COVID pretty much changed South Africa, changed the world.
Yeah.
Why South Africa changed the world. And lots had hit then. And in various corporate spaces as well, companies go down the road of that bad word called restructure.
Right.
It's a bad word, right? It's a scary word.
It's a scary word.
Right? It's a scary word. So restructure came by, and I found myself together with 400 others in what was supposedly called a restructure pool. So May is my birthday month, just after my birthday, 2nd of May.
And this year is about, which year is this?
Where were we? About 2019 or thereabouts,
Okay,
I think.
all right.
So around the 10th of May, we got this notice, come to Johannesburg, flew us across again. Guys, you're going into a restructure pool. The business is restructuring, but rest assured that we will freeze all jobs within the broader organization. And essentially, you'll have the opportunity to apply for jobs within the space. And from there, because they'll put a freeze on all other external appointments. And, hopefully you land something. It's a 3-month journey. And if you don't land something by the end of August, then you would be retrenched.
Ooh.
Right.
The big R.
Yeah. It was a bad line as well. It was a tough space because the reason being, it was on the 10th of May. And myself and my son were just on our way to Mumbai for a holiday.
Oh, my goodness.
So it becomes you put up a brave face for your son that all is well. Meanwhile, internally, all is not well. You can't shy away from the fact that any individual that go down this journey, and many have done it, so I'm not the first, but you go down this journey of being unsure of yourself. You start asking yourself a whole stack of questions. You wonder where's life going to take you next. What is the way forward, etc.
And all of this you're thinking on vacation
and
with
all,
your son.
Yeah, totally on vacation. And
in Mumbai, that you've been planning all this time, and yet you can't really enjoy it.
You put a smile on the face, but it's a fake smile because inside you it's happening and it's real. And so that was the first meeting on the 10th of May. And there was a follow-up meeting around the 27th of May, which I was not there. I was in Mumbai still at the time. Right? And that was it. But I think, probably around the 10th of May, that's where the resilience kind of kicked in.
Right.
And I went down the journey and said, listen, it is what it is. The sooner you deal with this, the better. Deal the elephant in the room. And the sooner the better. And he essentially said, okay, came back to myself, okay, so what are my strengths? Where's my strengths lie? And there's various aspects that pretty much came to mind. I spent 12 years as regional home loans manager. So I headed up home loans for Eastern Cape, Free State, Northern Cape, and KZN. And something, the alarm bells in me told me, but home loans and property is your strength. Why don't play to your strength? And let's talk back to your strength.
Right.
And that's where the...
And this all you thought about on vacation?
On vacation, definitely. In fact, to be very honest, not even on vacation, on the flight.
On the flight?
On the flight to Mumbai. Right?
You
because
already started to process.
You need to process. Because the reason being is that, rolling over and dying is not going to have the problem.
Yeah.
Right? You need to deal it. And the quicker and the better you deal it, and the faster you deal it, the faster you kind of step into action. So I had to deal it. Right? Let's play to the strengths. What's strength? The strength is home loans. That's my knowledge. That's what I am. Okay, right. Let's go down the journey and start thinking of bond origination. Right? And from there, I went down, got into Mumbai, thinking, okay, how will it all work? On the Nedbank side, I gave many originators their contracts. Right. I'm the one that signed off the contracts. So now all of a sudden I'm hopping from one side of the fence onto the other side. So yeah, and then I got back from Mumbai and then started the journey. Okay, right, let's just think now.
Okay.
Business cards.
At this point,
web page,
you
company
have
name.
been retrenched yet? Or
No. Retrenched only end of August.
Okay, so you're still thinking, what's my plan?
What's the plan?
Should that happen?
Yeah.
Right.
So in life, you probably need to go down a journey where you need a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. Irrespective of what you do in life, you need those plans.
I like
you
that.
can't kind of just stick to one thought process only. You need multiple plans, right? And in a testing market, recession, etc., people generally tend to also need multiple incomes, a second stream of income, right, etc. So I am now in my mind. I got back probably around end of May, I think it was, and I got back, and my mind is saying, okay, I've got to make myself kept by this company. I've got to stay over here and find myself and go for interviews and secure another position. Bearing in mind, at my level of position, it's not, and I'll say this respectfully, it was not a consultant level, it's a regional manager level.
Right.
So now
senior.
there's not too many opportunities that may necessarily present itself for you in KZN, and you may have to relocate to Gauteng, to Mpumalanga, to Free State, whoever. So you've got to have all this kind of thought process in your mind, what if and what if and what if. And what if ultimately come 31st of August, which was the last day, and I don't necessarily find myself being able to stay in the organization.
Right.
And 31st of August came.
Yeah.
By that stage, the business rollout was in my head already. And I kind of had a sense that, okay, if it's not going to work out, it's not going to work out. I know where I'm going. I'm creating my own company. And that's pretty much it. So, 1st of September, I was ready to roll out Property Finance Solutions. All right. So, yeah. A lot went into it. Business cards, web page, social media, all right, emails, IT guys, setting all these things up. All of this you have to do. And I came from corporate, so I was not into entrepreneurship. Right. So it was new kind of space for me, and I needed to find my feet through it. And I ticked the box and got all of that kind of going. And I had a meeting with the CEO of Mortgage Max, Mortgage Max is the biggest bond origination company in South Africa, and we roll into that structure as Property Finance Solutions. And based on my track record, I was told, listen, you are the perfect fit to be into our entrepreneurial space, and that's it. And that's when PFS, Property Finance Solutions, rolled out. But that was all okay, that's setting up. Now comes the difficult part, because where's your first client? Who is your first client? How do you find your first client? So I literally drove around on Sundays, and where you find, the show house boards you get.
Yes. Yes.
So I should stop at a show house board and click the picture of the person who's selling the property.
Yeah.
Whether he's from X agency or B agency or C agency, I click pictures and I come back and I save the WhatsApp with the person's name. Joe Soap Agent XYZ. Which company? And then I devised a standard WhatsApp message. Hi, I am Vinay Hansraj. I am the ex-regional home loans manager, 12 years, etc. This is my company. I would love to do business with you. Right? And that's what I did. And I found pictures and I saved and I sent. Picture, saved and sent. And waiting for someone to say, okay, we want to work with you. And no one did.
All that effort, all that petrol.
All that effort, right?
Yeah.
But there's a line I learned in life as well. You know,
Give it to me.
sometimes you need to knock on a door 7 times. Someone once told me that you got to knock on the door 7 times before that door actually opens.
Makes sense.
Right, and one person will open the door for you. And when that one person opens the door for you, you impress them to such an extent that they will go and tell the next 100 people.
Wow.
Right? And that's what happened. Right. So
you knocked 7 times?
I knocked and someone said, okay, we want you to do our bond for us. Okay, we want you to be our bond originator and can you run with our clients' applications? And like they say, the rest is history.
Wow.
But came the next challenge.
Talk to me.
My life is full of challenges, isn't it? Sounds bad, doesn't it?
No, it's the comeback. It's the comeback.
Right, and
today.
next came the next challenge. Which one was first? I'm trying to remember what was first.
Was it the heart operation, the heart condition?
Yeah, that was
talk
probably
about
first.
that.
Yeah, okay, that was first, I think, right? So I was on the first, second, third, fourth tee box at Papua Golf Course, getting ready to tee off because golf was my passion. I just love being in the woods.
Yeah.
Not Tiger Woods, just in the woods. So so I was on tee box. I felt a little bit uncomfortable, just uncomfortable, not just a little bit of shortness of breath, etc. And then fast forward a bit to a cardiologist and to a surgeon, and I was told, listen, you have got your main artery is 99% blocked, right? And you've got 3 other arteries blocked as well. So you've got 2 choices over here. The first thing, you sit back and wait and you have a heart attack, and then you either live or you die.
Wow.
But on the flip side, your heart condition is great. It's just the arteries leading to the heart is the problem. So what's perhaps wiser to do is for you to check yourself in and let's do a bypass, because we can't put stents for you, because the position of that blockage didn't allow for stents. Right. So it's going to be a bypass. So all this is happening just before lockdown. So I spoke to a few mates as to, you have somebody called a perfusionist. So I spoke to someone and said, okay, who do you regard as the best surgeon that I could possibly go? And I was given some names and I needed to make a decision. And the guy that I chose, coincidentally, was the surgeon, and he was out of the country. And all this happening, he was in UK just before lockdown. And when he came back, he had to go into what they call it. What was they calling it then? Isolation.
Oh, no, yes.
Isolation,
yes,
Was
we
it?
had that. Yes, isolation.
2 weeks of isolation. Now I got to wait again. So I'm waiting while being a ticking time bomb that this can go wrong at any given time, because your heart, your blood flow through your arteries was poor, which is causing the blockage. So something needs to be done. So ultimately he got back. He came out of isolation. I met with him on Monday, and he tells me, you know what, those are your choices. You sit back, you wait to have a heart attack, and your heart may get damaged, but your heart is fine now. So probably what's wiser to do is have the operation, go in for a bypass. Quadruple bypass, that's it. Okay, you got to surrender yourself. Now I literally had to surrender myself, right? To okay, I'm going to make this decision. And I got to surrender myself to their hands for a bypass. And I did. So I walked into Itigweni Hospital on the Thursday morning after that Monday, Thursday morning, got prepped and everything else. Friday morning, I went in for a 7.5 hour quadruple bypass surgery, open heart. So it's and they took took this vein out, and they took, can you see that? Yeah, right.
They took the vein out.
Yeah, there's a vein out from here, right? So what do you do? They cut there, and from my thigh, and they make up 6 pieces, and that's what helps your bypass. All right, so I walked in for the quadruple bypass. 7.5 hours later, I don't know this, when they opened me up, and they realized, hang on, there's 2 other blockages here. So I had 6 bypass done.
Oh my God.
So I see, I didn't know, I was none the wiser.
Yeah.
So I had 6 bypass. I don't know why you frowning upon me like I'm brand new again.
No, I'm just shocked you went through all of this. I love it. It's a comeback of note.
My heart is super clean right now.
Right. Right.
So I had 6 bypass done. By the way, when I was in eThekwini Hospital, the hospital was pretty much closed because there was no one else there.
Right.
And I think I must have been one of 5 patients or thereabouts, etc., in ICU. So it was deemed as an emergency operation. But you couldn't come back out of ICU to go back into the general ward to recover. Oh. So I literally came out 7 days out of ICU and straight back home. And my recovery was there. So I never saw a general ward.
Wow.
And now in ICU is normally freezing cold. So your recovery process is like, you keep coughing and you can't recover fast enough.
Yeah.
And I feel that I literally recovered when I got home. And as I got back, so at that moment, Cyril announced the lockdown. Right?
March 2020.
Yeah. What was it? 26, I think.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, 26th of March. So 26th of March was the lockdown. My bypass happened around the 6th or 7th of April.
Height of lockdown.
Right in the height of lockdown with no one in the hospitals and everyone terrified.
Yeah, and everybody ran away.
And everybody running away.
No one wanted to go to hospital that time.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm sitting there, one of 5 Oaks. Man. And that's it. And just, by the way, a side conversation. So 7.5 hours later, they take you out, they take your heart, put on life support. Right? They cut you up. They do their thing. They bring you off life support, they put it back in, and then your rhythm needs to kick in kind of automatically. I don't know all these surgical terminologies, but generally that's what it kind of means. You got to get back into a rhythm. They put you together, they sew you up again. Next morning, I was on my cell phone.
No way.
I was. My son will tell you that basically I'm married to my cell phone. I have withdrawal symptoms. I'm not.
Right.
So I was on video call. Hey guys, okay, I'm there.
Yeah.
Right? That's there. And that was bypass done. And 7, so now I can't do bed bath. I don't believe in that. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And I was too terrified of bed bath. And I was too terrified. I had custard and jelly. Try and figure out where I'm going with that line. So all I did for 7 days, I had custard and jelly. I don't want any solids. You figure out why.
Right.
All right. So I had a bed bath, and then when I think about 5 or 6 days later, I finally had to. I finally had permission to go to the bathroom to have a shower. Okay. That bathroom from my bed in ICU must have been about 15 meters, 15. And I promise you, it feels like you're doing the comrades.
Wow.
You feel like you're doing the comrades. You're literally taking baby steps and you're there. And I have a new sense of appreciation for shower gel.
Okay.
Because when I took my first shower, right, after the bypass, you don't have the time to really smear it. I was literally doing this. And that was your shower gel on you.
Right.
So so that was hospital bypass done, lockdown, time to recover, and then thereafter came the unrest. Right, we had the unrest.
2021.
Yeah, we had unrest, and and after the unrest, we had a tough economy.
We did.
Right, we had a really, really tough economy. We had people not really wanting to buy property, etc. And anyone in their right frame of mind tells you that you should not and you must not start up a business if you had a bypass, you had lockdown, you had unrest, you had floods, you had a bad economy. But I don't think for me, it wasn't a case of having chosen to go there. It actually found me. I had to do it because I had no job.
Right.
I'm being retrenched. Right? And resilience. That's the word. You used it, your word.
Yeah.
You started there, resilience. Now you got me stuck on that word.
It is a good word.
So it became about resilience. And resilience, so plus minus almost 5 to 6 years later, where are we? We are multiple award winners at all of the banks. We just got back from Zanzibar in August, having won the top performance award for Origination.
Wow.
We track at number 2 in KZN in terms of the mortgage max and embedded bond structure, and they are sister companies, so part of the mortgage max space. That's where we track. We are well respected by all the banks. we had a whole stack of agents that not wanting to deal with us initially because who is a small little oak over here?
Right.
And they want to deal with the bigger companies. But in life, you got to focus on the simple things. And the simple thing is just keep your head down, right? Eyes to the tar, continue trotting along, do the right things, provide the right level of service.
Right.
Give service. And if you give service as an entrepreneur, right, you start reaching a stage where you don't now need to go and take photos of boards and everything else. The business actually starts finding you thereafter.
Yes.
So, so multiple award winners at the various banks, respected in the industry. And this is pretty much the journey.
You know what is so beautiful about
Have I
your
spoken too
story?
much?
No, not at all. Not at all. What is so beautiful about your story and how you founded your business is it came out of a situation where most people would literally have given up. I know a lot of people who have seen the retrenchment conversation light up where they work. And for some reason, there are many people who think it won't be me. And when it is them, they just don't have the capacity to deal with it
mentally. Yeah.
And it just takes them for a...
Correct. Right. Correct. And
you are different.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily different. Listen, I also went through that spell first. It hits you, and it hits you for a 6. So I'm not going to sit in front of you like Superman and say, no, I'm all good. It never happened to me. It did happen to me. You feel first, right? And you start having this conversation with yourself. Why me? What have I done wrong?
That's the big one.
Right.
And also, when you have retrenchment, people think you were not good at what you did. That's why you were in the pool.
And for me, it was even more. It was even worse because I was multiple award winner at the bank as well.
Wow.
I was the CEO award winner at one stage. I was what they have a top achiever award winner, and I won it multiple times. So how is it as an award winner, I'm being retrenched? So you start dealing. You have to deal with this thing. You pose these questions in your mind. You're literally all over the place. You battle to focus, etc. Thank God for me, I think I was able to snap out of it quicker than later.
Why?
Right?
What was different?
A realization. Right? Realization that it's not going to do me any good staying there. If anything at all, it's going to do me more harm. Because what actually happens then? Then you become depressed.
Yeah.
Then you probably take to more alcohol.
Substance, whatever.
Substance abuse, whatever the case may
Sleeping
be.
pills.
Sleeping pills. You battle, etc. And maybe I'm just lucky, a little bit blessed as well, to have snapped out of it quicker. And I needed to. And if I didn't snap out of it, then definitely, genuinely, I would have faced the same challenge that many people out there. And we know from an economic perspective, we know as well that, global companies have been pulling out of South Africa. Some of them want to move out, etc. And there's some huge car manufacturing companies that a large portion of the employment sector relies on them in Eastern Cape, right here in Durban as well. And some of these companies, etc., have been contemplating, do we move out of South Africa or not? So I'm hoping that being with you on radio right now serves as some element of inspiration and motivation to those individuals, for that matter, who may find themselves getting hit with this.
Yeah.
They'll be able to bounce back quicker than later. And if they don't bounce back fast enough, that's how much more longer it's going to take for your recovery.
Yeah, they need to come back, right?
Yeah, they come
You
back.
got to come back from it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you got to come back from it. And I think a lot of the time, having sat with many people and heard many, many stories of people, being, just winning in different facets of life.
Yeah.
The one thing that has always come out is just the will to survive.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of that comes from maybe your childhood somewhere.
Yeah.
Something happened in childhood where you just told yourself,
Yeah.
because I'll tell you a quick story. When I was a kid, I was bullied about certain elements of, my personality and what have you, that people didn't like, what have you. And I remember vowing one day that I would be, the kids that were bullying me, I would make sure that I would be more successful and happier than all of them put together.
True story.
And I said this at about 7, 8 years old. And only when I interrogate my will to consistently reinvent myself, do I realize that it makes them back to that day I vowed on the playground that you little kids, I'm going to make sure that I will be more successful and happier than all of you put together.
Now that's called the will to win. Now that's called the will to win. And even now that you're taking me back so far.
There we go.
Now that you're taking me back so far. So, certain things in your childhood you don't necessarily always remember.
You're right.
Okay? You don't necessarily always remember. One thing I do remember, right? My first day to school, right? Some oak from across the road hit me with the orange on. Hit me from across the road with the orange.
That is a hard thing.
And he had
man.
he had such perfect aim. It landed right on my eye.
Oh no, that
On
must
day
have
one.
been sore.
Right, so okay, that's the first problem I had. The second thing is that we used to have primary school sports. For sports, and if I ran the 100 meters and 200 meter race, for some reason or the other, I always was last or second to last.
That's resilience.
That's what it is.
The fact that you kept running.
I was either last on 100 meters or second to last.
Right.
And then I entered high school.
Yeah.
And when I entered high school, I said, I'm sick and tired of coming out last.
Yeah.
Right? And I run the 100 meters and 200 meters and come out last. Hang on 1 second. Let me just rethink this journey. And they said, no. That is not meant for me. Right? So I'm going to try now the 400 meters, the 800 meters, and the 1,500 meters. And guess what?
You came first.
I never lost a race.
Wow.
Right? I never lost a race. I so someone in Pietermaritzburg in a school called Heather Secondary right now will probably listen to this conversation. And yeah, proud product of Heather Secondary in Northdale in Pietermaritzburg.
Yeah.
And I was continuously the Victor Ladorum winner and made it through to
We have
Curry's.
one thing in common. Yes,
there you go.
Yes.
I took part in Curry's Fountain.
Yeah.
Right, at the Inter-Natal zonal champs, etc. And maybe to your point, probably that's where it came through. That in primary school, after that orange hit me, after I came out last in 100 meters, 200 meters, I said, that's it.
That's it.
I'm tired of losing. From now onwards, I'm only going to win.
And you know what? I honestly believe that from what you're telling me, that's the spirit that woke up that day when you heard about this retrenchment. You were like, I'm not going to be last.
Yeah.
I'm going to win.
Yeah. You know what? It's a subconscious state of mind, I think. So back to the childhood and, the progression from primary school to high school and that don't want to lose, want to win, etc. along those lines. Maybe that sits inside you from a subconscious state of mind. And maybe that just kind of fired and kicked in.
Right.
And it's okay. I'm retrenched. Let it be.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to allow this retrenchment to get to the better of me. I am going to become an entrepreneur. I'm not just going to become an entrepreneur. I'm going to become a successful entrepreneur.
And the best one at it.
That's it.
Now, another thing that helps people when they are on an entrepreneurial journey is when you speak of your darkest moments. And every entrepreneur, there's not one I've sat with that doesn't have a moment, an experience, a call, an epiphany that was a dark moment.
Yeah.
Do you have that dark moment? I know you speak of the retrenchment,
Yeah.
but I'm sure as you started PFS, there may have been that one time when you were like, what have I done?
Yes.
Is this
Right.
going to work?
Yes. Okay. Dark moment when you now, firstly, you retrenched. Then you now gone down the journey of bypass. Then you go down the journey of unrest. Then you go on the journey of taking a picture of every single estate agent's
Like a stalker.
show card,
Yeah.
showboard rather,
Yeah.
like a stalker.
Yes.
And then you're waiting for the phone calls to come through and nothing's happening.
Right.
And that's when that's the dark moments.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the dark moments. And bypass, retrenchment, unrest, recession, looking for clients, no one really knocking on your door, no one's really phoning you. And that's that moment that you're talking about, the dark moment. Is this ever going to change?
Yeah.
Is it going to turn? Right. And again, you got to, they say sometimes in life, think with the blinkers out. In this instance, you got to keep the blinkers on. You got to keep the blinkers on because you got to stay focused. And if you don't stay focused, you're going to slide. All right, you're going to slide. And then you're going to go back to the space where you spoke about just now, substance abuse, alcohol. Oh, what am I worth? Who am I? And it's really a case of, and I'm saying it with respect. You don't want to go into a space where you start feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
No. I'm not prepared to feel sorry for myself. I'm prepared to work hard and I'm prepared to get there. And this is it.
You're not going to be the boy that comes last
No.
or second last.
No. I'm not going to be the boy again if someone throws an orange at me. I hope no one listens to this the next time I walk in the street. Oh, here's a moving target for an orange.
I guess another question that's important for business is you're thriving, you're doing so well now. What keeps you going?
I'll give you an answer. An answer that I hope this resonates well with you and sits well in your mind. I'm in a space of my life right now, right, where I actually don't work. All I do, I live to put people into homes.
Wow.
Right, okay. I love placing people into homes. I love moving people away from a rented property and making a landlord rich to saying, I own a home. When we do this, when people are going down this journey, they were on debt review, they've had judgments, they've come out of it, etc. They don't know if they're going to get a bond, and they come to me, right? And my clients, by the way, call me Skoko.
Okay, it's Coco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My clients call me Skoko. True story, by the way, Tempa.
Yes.
And it goes back. I was the bank manager for King's Retrenchment.
Okay.
Yes. So the first time am I digressing? Am I okay?
No. We love these stories.
Right. So the first time I met King's Retrenchment was at Beverly Hills Hotel.
Right.
And I was going with my regional manager then, who was a Mr. Zondi. I won't give you a first name because you know who we're talking about.
Okay.
So he was not well on that Saturday morning. So I ended up meeting King's Retrenchment alone. And I didn't know what to do. So when I had met him for breakfast. So I sat at Beverly Hills Hotel waiting for him. And he came out 1 hour later. But you knew that's going to happen, right?
Of course. I mean, hello, it's the game.
You knew it was going to happen, right?
Right.
1 hour later, he came by, and as he walked towards me and he approached me, and the first thing I did, I kind of bowed down to him and I said, Bayete, wena wendlovu.
Yes.
And he looked at me and he smiled, right? And then he sat down and he said, sit down. And then he ordered food and I ordered food. And then the food arrived. And then I never touched it. I just left it.
Okay.
I just left it.
Yeah.
And because part of Zulu custom,
right,
he must give you permission to eat.
Oh, okay.
Right? So you have to get permission from him. He must say, please eat.
Oh,
and
yes.
then you eat. So that's how it happens. And this is all life's journey. And you learn about these things as you go along. So to your point, do I work? No. I actually don't work. I simply just love putting people into homes. And if you take people and put them out of rented property into something that they say it's my dream home, it's not working. Because all you're doing is that you're making people happy. You're giving them a roof over their head. From an Indian perspective, they call it seva. Is where you're doing good for others. So as a seva, it's a form of seva, just making sure you enrich, you enlighten, you guide, you steer people from being in a rented property into their own homes.
Yeah.
So that's the proud moments. So what do I live for? I live to put people to homes, and I live to play golf. I'm a horrible golfer, but I still do it.
You still do it. And my final question to you, Vinay, is what's your comeback?
What's my comeback? My comeback is, firstly, probably stay true to yourself. It's very vital in life. Don't be fake. Stay true. Stay true and do good for people. If you do good, you stay true to yourself. And the most important thing, don't chase money. Chase doing good for people. Ultimately, money will find you. Be good. And if you do these things, and you basically stay away from negative people, for that matter, and focus on the positivity of life, align back for doing good for people, that's the comeback.
That is so beautiful. Couldn't have said it better. Oh my goodness. Thank you. A million thank yous, Vinay Hansraj, for sitting with us.
Why are you thanking me? I need an autograph and a photograph. I'm so honored to be here with you.
Your story, your encouragement, how you did things, how you always believed in yourself, how you allowed yourself to go into dark moments, but not literally put up a camp. You went through the moments and you said, this is not going to be my life. And that for me is just the most beautiful comeback story. Thank you so much.
Only a pleasure. Glad to be at East Coast Radio, and thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you.
The Comeback with Carol Ofori is an East Coast Radio podcast.